regular season. Playoffs are this close, and the hunt for October goes on. And for the San Francisco Giants, they indeed are in that mix. The Giants looking right now at the wild card race as the best shot that they have of making it. And that's because they are half a game ahead of the Cubs, the Astros, the Padres, and the Marlins all involved. The Marlins with a doubleheader loss yesterday. That one hurt.
Yeah, it did. Playing great in Chicago and going back home is really surprising to see them lose 2 games at home.
Wow, beautiful day here in Milwaukee. There's the starting lineup for the visiting San Francisco Giants with Durham, Cruz, Alfonso, then Bonds, so he could get up in the first. Snow, Krasinski, Tucker, Grissom, and Brad Hennessy will be doing the pitching.
Yeah, you look at that lineup, and you look at those numbers right there of Barry Bonds. I mean, he leads the league in walks with 206. He's got 124 hits. He's been on base 330 times. And so, big reason why the Giants are where they are.
And the man who faced him today, there is Victor Santos, 10-10 on the year.
Good fastball, slider, but he likes to split in the change. And when he's going good, he goes with whichever one is going good. If he's throwing the change for a strike, he'll stick with the change. If he's throwing the splitter for a strike, he'll stick with the splitter. But, you know, good. He's going to be a good test because he changes speeds really well.
Has not faced Bonds before, so the 27-year-old right-hander will get his chance in this big moment today. And let's take a look defensively at the Brewers.
A very young team out there for Milwaukee, and Overbay's had a really good year defensively. Posada covers a lot of ground in center, and but when you're a young team and you got a guy on the mound like Santos today, it's imperative that you make plays defensively. You can't give teams extra outs, and unfortunately for the Brewers, they've made some mistakes this year on the defensive end, and it's turned around and cost them.
They are 4th from the bottom in the National League defensively as a team. Those are the mistakes that Tony's talking about. All right, we are ready to go. Roof open, bright sun, and here's Ray Durham. And Santos delivers the fastball to him. Strike call. Rick Reed will be the umpire working the plate in this game. It'll be Ted Barrett, Alfonso Marquez, and Ed Rapuano. Rapuano, the crew chief for this umpiring crew. Breaking ball, it misses inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Durham. Durham leading it off, playing at second base for the Giants. They wrap up this series, and then they will be heading to take on San Diego. Trying to bunt his way on. That one is foul back, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Early on already, Durham trying to get on base. He saw the third baseman get her back a little bit. Decided he would try to drop a bunt down. And I think that's the right way to go about it. You want to try to get Barry Bonds in at bat here in the first inning, give him an opportunity.
Durham pops that one up. Very high sky, no clouds, all blue, lots of sun. Branyan is here to haul it in, and Durham is retired. Switch hitter out of there, one away in the first inning. The light here has been a problem at this new ballpark because while you have really bright sun in the infield, in the outfield there are lots of shadows because of the way this ballpark was built. And in day games today, we're starting at noon local. You see the outfielders are standing in shadows.
Yeah, and they've got the lights on, to try to brighten it up a little bit for them. But in the daytime, it is a little bit difficult to see the ball there.
How difficult to pick a ball up if you're an outfielder?
In the outfield, it shouldn't. I try to remember. I didn't play that many games out here in right field, but in the daytime, it shouldn't be a problem because the ball's going into the sun. It's starting from the sunlight. It'd be tougher if it was reversed.
Heavy Cruz. Breaking ball is taken outside. 1-ball, 1-strike count. Cruz working at shortstop.
Excuse me, Gary. One of the differences I see already is that they've kind of added a little bit more of a panel out in center field on the left side and the right side, so that hitters can see the ball better.
That's going to be a base hit down the line. Jenkins will have to chase this one down. Cruz is on his way to second base, and he will go in with a stand-up double. You will hear some unusual reactions from fans here in Milwaukee. Last night, Barry Bonds had a chance to hit in the 9th inning if the man in front of him got on, and every time a strike was thrown to the Giant batter, there were boos, and every time there was a ball thrown, there were cheers. So fans cheered that double because it means we're probably going to see Barry Bonds here in the first inning. Pedro Feliz up with a runner on at second base. The double. Do not lose sight of the fact that while we follow the individual record, this game as will all of them for the rest of the year, be vital to this Giants team.
Yeah, and you can believe that, yeah, if they want to see Barry hit a 700 home run, and you know sooner or later that's going to happen. But right now every game is important. They want to win games and try to not only add on to their wild card lead, but maybe close in on LA.
Feliz takes the pitch. That one's going to be down and away, and a 2-0 count. The runner on at second base, Cruz, who picked up his 29th double of the season. Feliz batting in that number 3 spot. Ahead of Bonds, figures to get some pitches to hit usually. 2-0 delivery inside out, and that'll be into the seats. It is funny looking down that line. You have all these seats that are empty between the end of the dugout and the foul pole, and there's not an empty seat in the right field stands.
And the upper deck included. There's a nice group of people standing on the upper deck.
That's where Barry, if he hits one, is more likely to do so. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Santos delivers. Now, if you look down the other line, you got to have believers too.
Yeah.
People who just have faith. So the guys sitting down the left field line who think, hey, just in case he takes one the other way, we're going to sit out here. Now, obviously, there aren't many believers.
Not.
In the opposite field home run. 3-ball, 1-strike count on Feliz. And that's taken down low, and here comes Bonds. Now they changed the baseballs. Home plate umpires getting a new set of baseballs. These are all marked for Bonds' at bat. They all have a hologram on them, so the ball can be identified, and they are numbered. And that's what's been going on over the last half-dozen games since he got close enough for the Major League Baseball to be concerned about it. And now Bonds will get his shot. First 2 games of the series, 0 for 6, 3 walks. Ned Yost, manager of the Brewers, said we'll pitch to him. And they have indeed done that. As Bonds stands in looking for number 700. Runners at first and second. Santos' pitch is taken up high for a ball.
Bonds came up to the plate, and everybody in the right field stands stood to their feet, anticipating maybe him hitting the ball in their direction.
Think there are a few gloves out there?
I think pretty much everybody out there has got one.
Big run on gloves here at the scores. 1-0 delivery to Bonds in the dirt. Stop made by Bennett. You hear the boos every time the pitch is thrown out of the strike zone with a Milwaukee pitcher here in Milwaukee.
And this is a tough situation for Santos to be in. He wants to win the game, and he does not want to give up any runs here in the first. And he's going to be very careful with Barry Bonds here, and not going to worry about the reaction. He's just going to go out and try to figure out a way to get him out or get the next guy out.
Here's the 2-0 delivery to Bonds. He'll take that one for a strike. Fastball, and the count goes to 2-1. Bonds doesn't get a lot of opportunities in the RBI department, but he's hitting .400 with runners in scoring position. It is one of the many departments in which he leads in the National League among sluggers. So given the chance, and he has produced RBI-wise. 2-1 delivery to Bonds. The chopper foul at the plate.
Yeah, pitch before, most guys in this league 2-0, they would have come out of their shoes trying to hit that 2-0 pitch, and he took it right down the middle for a strike. And Santos came back there with a split finger, and he was out in front. And this, being the first time you faced a guy, sometimes you're not really sure, how he might go about trying to get you out. So I was really kind of surprised he took that 2-0 pitch right down the middle.
2-ball, 2-strike count, 2-on, 1 down. Bonds' first chance of the ball game here in the first inning. After that number 700 mark. Santos, 27-year-old right-hander. 2-2 delivery to Bonds. And that one ripped and into right field, going down into the corner. Clark back to get it. Cruz will score, going to third, Feliz, and Bonds delivers an RBI double. And the Giants are on top 1-0. A rip shot just by Overbay at first base, and Bonds produces again.
One of the things that's surprising, you talked about the reaction. I mean, he takes this ball and hits it right down the line and hits it hard. And the reaction is disappointment. Yeah. People want to see a home run. And he just doubles down the line, gives the Giants an early 1-0 lead.
Amazing, isn't it? It 27 doubles, 95 RBIs, and people will settle back in and wait for his next at bat. down the right field line.
Go get a brat now or a beer. And wait for
It's not fair to everybody else. All right, here's JT Snow at the plate. 336. What a season JT's having. Foul back. He made some interesting comments yesterday talking about Bonds and how the spotlight is constantly shining on Barry. He said, I think that helps us. He says the rest of us, everybody leaves us alone.
Yep.
We just get to go out and play baseball kind of unnoticed. He said, and I'm not sure that's been a bad thing for the team.
I agree. I think, and it's, Barry's been around for a long time and he's handled it for a long time, and I think he's right. I think it's easier for the rest of the guys just to go out there and take care of their business. JT got off to a slow start, and now all of a sudden he's hitting 336, starting to drive in runs, starting to be very productive.
Tony, what a month of August he had. He had 452.
Yeah.
That's why that average has jumped as high as it has. And he's got a big chance here with 2 in scoring position. 1-1 delivery to him. That one to center field. Seidnick is there. Runner tagging his Feliz. Here comes the throw to the plate. It'll go off the mound and backed up by Santos. So it's Bonds at second. So JT Snow credited with the RBI on the sac fly to center. And the Giants jump out to an early 2-0 lead.
You described that just perfectly, where Snow talks about just going on about his business. He has found himself now hitting in the 5-hole behind Barry Bonds because he's started to swing the bat a whole lot better.
50 RBIs for him, an appeal being made at third base. And the third base umpire Ed Rapuano said no, the tag was timely. And the run will count. Bonds remains on at second base with 2 down. Brzezinski comes to the plate. The Giant catcher. 11 home runs, 75 RBIs to go with a very fine 283 batting average. 2 down and 2 runs in on 2 hits here in the first inning. And that one again goes to center field. That one goes deep. Siding back near the warning track in the wall, and he hauls it in. A long fly ball out. Giants here in the first inning. They will pick up a couple of runs on 2 hits. Bonds got an at-bat, delivered a double. Giants 2. They have a good crowd on hand for this day game, a noontime start because of Bonds. There's the lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers. Seidnick leading it off. Counsell, Overbay, Jenkins, Clark, Branyan, Ginter, Bennett, and Santos. A lot of doubles right there.
Yeah, you see a lot of Overbay. He's had a really solid year for the Brewers. 46 doubles, tied for the lead with Mark Loretta. He's really coming to his own this year.
See a young starter out there on the mound, 24 years old, Brad Hennessy.
And Hennessy is another one of these young guys that the Giants just continually seem to find. And I think today his objective is just to go out and go as hard as he can for as long as he can. Try to get outs.
They tool with their rotation too, huh?
Yeah. And today they've activated Jerome Williams back. And for Hennessy today, they want him to just go as long as he can go. Throw strikes, try to get outs. But not used to this long season, long major league season. And in September, starting to get a little tired, I'm sure. And so it's imperative for him today just to come out and throw strikes, get outs, go as long as you can. And Giants bullpen's in pretty good shape. They can piece it together from there.
He's making his 6th major league start. He hasn't had an outing since September 3 because they did not need a 5th starter. So he's had a lot of rest. 24-year-old right-hander, 1-2, 3rd year of professional baseball. His 6th game start of this season. He played both AA and AAA in the Giants organization. Seidnick takes the pitch outside, and the count goes full, 3-2. Brad Hennessy at AA ball went 5-5, then got moved to Fresno AAA, where he went 4-1 and had a great 2.02 ERA. But he walks the leadoff batter here. Let's take a look at the Giants' defense.
Normally very good defenders, the Giants are. It's a veteran team, and they kind of understand what it takes to win. And not only offensively but defensively, they usually make plays at outfield. Very experienced in Bonds, Grissom, and Tucker. Snow's one of the best in the business at first base. And Brzezinski behind the plate does a good job too. And they're going to be tested right away now that Posadnik's gotten on. He's the league leader in stolen bases. And Counsell's a guy that can handle the bat and already falling down 2-0 already. They're going to be looking to try to get something going.
See if he runs here on Hennessy. And Brzezinski, the catcher, he was leaning as he dives back in. He was leaning towards second base on that throw over. Whether he meant it or not, we'll find out. He has had a tremendous season, a new mark in stolen bases for this franchise, and way ahead of everybody else in that department in stolen bases. A pretty good lead over there. He's got 55. Juan Pierre is second in the league with 38.
Already Ray Durham's coming in to let Hennessy know you're going to have to speed up that delivery a little bit to the plate, because that leg kick, Pasednik's going to go.
Pasednik, as we like to say, speed slows the game down.
Absolutely.
A lot of attention being given here. In at third base, Feliz on the grass in case of a bunt by Counsell. And the step off to get him back to the bag. That's where a leadoff man raises a lot of havoc in a lineup, what you're seeing right here. Hennessy, having spent a lot of time thinking about something other than the batter. Runner goes, fake, throw by Brzezinski is not in time. 56 stolen bases.
Pasednik stole that on Hennessy. He got a real good jump. And Brzezinski did all he could. He made a pretty good throw. See, he's 3-4 steps on the way. Pretty good throw, and just a tad late.
Pasednik had a career high last year with 43 stolen bases. Caught only 10 times. Obviously, well ahead of that. Counsell line drive right field. That one will stay up. Tucker will make the play and get it back in. Counsell hit that one hard. Ball didn't sink very much. One away. Pasednik had to stay at second base.
Counsell did what he's supposed to do. You want to try to hit a ball to the right side. He hits it right on the button, and it's right at Michael Tucker.
So that will not get the runner moved up. And Overbay comes to the plate. 46 doubles. He is 3 shy of tying the franchise record for doubles, 49, set by Robin Young back in 1980. RBI chance for him here. Runner at second, one out. Hennessy misses the outside corner with it. Great season. Overbay with a .312 average, 79 RBIs, and all those extra base hits that he has piled up.
He's a guy I think that's going to hit with power too later on. He's just really starting to understand his stroke now.
What's he got to do to develop power?
It's just experience. It's just getting out there and playing games and just learning the mechanics of it. A lot of teams have busted him in, and he's learned how to handle that ball and hit it hard to right field, and eventually he's going to learn how to hit that ball out.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. That's a nasty jam shot right there, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
That's what I'm talking about. Teams pitching him inside, and early on you can hit this ball right here and fight it off to left field and be happy with that. But when you're in the middle of the lineup in the third, 3, 4, 5 hole, you're being asked to drive the ball a little bit better. So they're happy with the extra base hits right now. I think eventually he's going to learn to hit the ball out of the ballpark too.
Overbay 276 with runners in scoring position this season for a club that has been woeful in that department. A 222 team average with runners in scoring position. That's why their offense is dead last in most categories in the National League. Overbay takes that, and that just missed inside. 2-2.
That number will tell the story for lots of clubs.
Wow.
222 runners in scoring position, and that's why a guy like Pasednik, his job leading off is to get on base and cause some havoc, make it a little bit easier for their team to score runs, where you don't need to get them on base hits, you can get them on outs.
2 ball, 2 strike delivery. Runner off second. Played deep by Durham. He'll get the out over to Snow. Pasednik will move over to third base. Overbay retired, so now 2 down, and that's what Tony was talking about. You get that runner over on the second batter, you get a run.
Absolutely, and that's good old-fashioned baseball. You get a guy like Pasednik who steals a base. If you can get him over to third, now you can score a run without the benefit of having to get a base hit. You can hit a ground ball like that and drive in a run, and you cut the deficit from 2 to 1. Unfortunately for Craig Counsell, he did everything right except he didn't advance the runner over to third.
Hit the Adam post. Here's Jenkins, takes that one to left field. Bonds makes the easy play on it, and that'll do it. So no runs, no hits with a base runner left on at third. The Giants up after one. Great to have you with us for our day game. We are in Milwaukee. The Giants with 2 runs in the first inning have the lead. Cal Peterson's waiting patiently down the line and right for the next Barry Bonds at bat, hoping to catch a home run ball. Well, Tony Gwynn and I are upstairs watching it all. We go to the second inning. Giants get Tucker up, bottom third of the order. Grissom and then Hennessy. Giants a half-game lead in the wild card race against the Chicago Cubs, who are immediately behind them. Giants have won their last 4 and have won 8 of their last 10 games to take over that spot. Michael Tucker, he'll foul that one off into the first row of the seats down there. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
After today's game, the Giants get back to playing teams in the Western Division with a big 3-game series starting off against San Diego. So the work is they got a lot of work to do if they want to win this division.
And another one, little foul. The Dodgers, as far as the division is concerned, lead by 3.5 games over the Giants. Obviously, the Giants still have a shot there to see what they have done this season against the Dodgers and against the Padres. One hit a mile high. Nobody knows where it is. Bennett, the catcher, took his mask off, looked up, and looked at the home plate umpire, Rick Reed, and said, "Where is it?" I had no idea.
I did the same thing. I didn't know where it was.
It is very hard to see the ball off the bat here with this very bright sunshine. Don't know how the well, you said, Tony, their outfielders have it better because it comes out of the sun to the dark. That one down the line, Clark over near the warning track. And he'll pull that one in, and Tucker is retired, one away. From the Babe to Bartman, it's the story of 2 star-crossed franchises. ESPN brings you the case that goes to trial of who's cursed worse. Cubs, Red Sox, Friday, 10 Eastern, preceded by the Red Sox-Yankees game at 7 Eastern. Red Sox-Yankees play 3. ESPN will have Friday night's game and Sunday afternoon's game at 1 o'clock. As the Yankees and Red Sox continue their chase for that Eastern Division title and or the wild card. 1 down, nobody on. The veteran Marquise Grissom.
Marquise has been up higher in the order most of the year. And now they have him in the 8-hole. And really in the 8-hole, you look at his numbers, he's been very productive for him. 19 homers and 80 RBIs.
He is second for the Giants, both of those departments, Tony. I don't think many would have expected that. 2-0 delivery to him by Santos is up high, and he falls behind 3-0.
I think it probably if JT Snow had hit the ball a ton, and in August they moved him to the 5-hole, and you can stick Marquise down here in the 8-hole and generate some run production at the bottom of the lineup.
Giants are winning their games offensively. That's been the name of the ball game for the Giants to be able to stay in the race. 3-1 pitch on the way, and it'll be fouled back. So Santos comes back, and the count goes to 3-2. Giants as a team this season in the offensive department are ranked 6th in average and 1st in runs. They have 9 home runs, 9th in home runs, and 1st in walks. And that one is drilled left field corner. That's a short wall, and goodbye, home run. Marquise Grissom does it again, his 20th homer and his 81st RBI, and the Giants have a 3-0 lead.
It is so nice for the Giants to have a guy like Grissom hitting in the 8-hole. Lots of production. He got on top of that ball nicely. Just drove it out here right down the left field line.
Don't have to hit it high down the line.
That ball is up. Boy, he worked the hands through the zone on this one and drilled it in the left field corner. And like you said, it's not that high a wall out there in left field. Jeff Jenkins was ready to play the carom. Instead, it goes over the wall.
Boy, what a season continuing for Grissom. So 3 runs on 3 hits for the Giants. And here's the pitcher. 24-year-old Brad Hennessy gets his shot at the plate. Hennessy has had 2 hits in 9 at-bats since being called up. Ginter at second base. And Hennessy is retired, 2 down. Well, Milwaukee hoping to add to some of the milestones we'll talk about today. If Bonds could get number 700 here, he's 0 for 1. Rather in the home run department, he's had a double. Hank Aaron, his 755th final homer came off Dick Drago here in Milwaukee at the other park, of course. That was on July 20 of 1976. Hammer and Hank at his last homer. Now we have the new Dome Park, Miller Park, virtually on the same site as the old Brewers yard. 2 down, bases empty. Durham popped out his first time up. Takes the off-speed delivery away. 1-1.
Again, Durham gets the hit here in the second inning, and that's what you like to see if you're a Giant fan. You want him, that lineup to turn over quickly. The Giants have put a whole lot of runs on the board this year, and that's this time of year. That's what you want. You got a veteran club, guys who know what needs to be done. You got to keep putting runs on the board, keep giving guys opportunities to drive in runs, and the Giants have been very good at it.
Durham takes that one towards the hole. It'll be knocked down. Overbay gets it in time to Santos. A good defensive play. So a run in on a hit. The home run by Grissom, and the Giants lead it 3-0. Hammer and Hank. That was number 700 for Aaron. 55 more would follow it. The 7th home run. You see Ruth, Tommy Bridges, Brett, the pitcher. Regarding Aaron's, those were the dates that they were hit, and we are waiting for the 3rd face to be added to that group, with Bonds 1 shy. And he has had an at-bat, 1 in this game, and delivered an RBI double. Barry out in left field, no days off, as you might get earlier in the season. A day game after a night game like this, not when you are in a chase for postseason. Clark at the plate, inside out right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit in front of Tucker. Brady Clark is on, and there's the first hit for the Brew Crew here in the second inning it comes.
Talked about the day game after a night game. The Giants didn't take batting practice today, and whatever hitting they did inside in the cages. But this is crunch time. Giants find themselves in the hunt, so you can pretty much bank on him Barry being in the lineup from here until they either clinch or get a spot in the playoffs. Whether it's the wild card or the division, he's probably going to be in there.
He knows that, and obviously expects that, and wants to be in there. Get this club into postseason. Barry said yesterday, his words were, "This season has worn me down." He said, "I am worn out, but got to go on. I'll worry about that for the next couple of years where I've got to play fewer games, but that's not going to be this year." Branyan at the plate and takes the pitch down low for a ball. Russell Branyan at third base as the Brew Crew tries to get on the board here and get back into this game. Down 3-0 early to the Giants, but a long way to go. Branyan acquired in July from Buffalo, the AAA team of the Cleveland Indians, for cash considerations. Branyan has bounced around, Tony, from a couple of organizations and with high expectations.
Yeah, he's no question is a guy that's got some power, can drive the ball out all over the ballpark. And the negative is lots of strikeouts. He's a guy that he's gonna, if he can put the bat on the ball, then he's going to be a very productive player. Goodness, the 10 home runs he has since he's been here with Milwaukee. But strikeout numbers are they get a little cautious about that.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Branyan, 36th game with Milwaukee. He's had 110 at bats. He has struck out 46 times. Fouls that one back. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Runner on at first base. Nobody out. Ed Yost. Disappointing conclusion to this season. This team was 45-41 at the All-Star break. They've been 17-40 since break. That is the worst decline winning percentage for any major league team this season.
Yeah, there's lots of praise going around before the All-Star break. I think Milwaukee really surprised a lot of people with the way they played the game. They were hustling everywhere, and guys were being productive. They've had some injuries here in the second half, but basically they haven't hit and they haven't pitched as well as they did in the first.
And Branyan will take that one, and the count goes to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie Clark, the leadoff man, is on at first base with nobody out.
This would be a situation where you'd think about the hit and run, but because Branyan struck out 46 times already in 110 at bats, chances are that Brady Clark's probably going to stay there at first.
Big hole between first and second if he ever pulls this pitch. Ray Durham actually plays him more to the middle.
Yeah.
Well, the book obviously on Branyan is ground balls tends to put up the middle. Outfield pretty much straight away and fairly deep. 3-2 pitch, and got him looking. Ouch. First strikeout for Brad Hennessy.
But that's a good spot too. He's thinking about hitting the ball in the hole between first and second, right on the outside corner.
Want your bat off your shoulder on that one, don't you?
You 2 strikes, you got to protect. And with 2 strikes, it's not a situation where you should be, looking for a pitch or guessing for a pitch. 2 strikes should be a situation where you're just trying to put the ball in play.
Keith Ginter is playing at second base. 238, 14 home runs for Ginter on the season. This is the problem the Brewers have had all year. Get somebody on, trying to move them around, and it doesn't happen. Ginter will take that pitch down low. Ginter is one of the younger players they're trying to hang on to. 3-year contract signed through 2006. They're doing what many of these markets that struggle are trying to do. Find players you think you can have a part of a core group. Build around it.
Try to lock them up and make them feel comfortable. They've done that with Pacidnik, done that with Ginter. You want these guys to kind of feel like they're major league players and work and try to improve. I think this Brewer organization got some talented young guys in the organization on the minor league side, and some guys at the big league level that they think are going to grow and become quality major league players.
Ginter, 28 years old. He'll take that pitch coming into the season, a 252 career average. He came out of the Houston organization. He's involved in a trade, involved Mark Loretta. Brewers made with Houston. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Hennessy really slows it down when he's got people on base. 1-2 delivery, and he's there again. Now it's working, and there are 2 down after the leadoff man was on. I want to remind you, Tony Armour III looks to defend his title facing a tough field at the Valero Texas Open. ESPN has coverage through Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern. We'll be following our game today. That's coming up. ESPN will have it for you. Gary Bennett. 3-0 lead for the Giants. Bonds has had an at-bat and doubled in a run. He is due up third when the Giants next come to the plate. So Bonds get another shot at it. 0 for 6 in this series. 0 for coming into the game, and then the double, his first hit of the series, first at bat today. Bennett with a 1-0 count, 2 down. Clark on at first base. You get the first guy on, and your next 2 batters are called out on 3rd strike. Nub, foul.
Part of that, I'm sure, is the first time they probably have seen Hennessy. But the other part of that is that's been the problem really for the Brewers all year long. Not all year long, but especially since the All-Star break, is that you get Pacidnik out there, he steals you a bag, and he's standing on second base with nobody out, and you don't get him to third, and he doesn't end up scoring. It's kind of been the problem for the Brewers. They get guys on, and here in the second half and just haven't been able to even put the bat on the ball.
Only Cincinnati has struck out more as a team than the Brewers. That one right at second base. Durham's got it. Play. Got it. So Bennett is retired. No runs, a base hit, and one left on. When we come back, Barry Bonds will get another shot. Go up third in the inning as he goes for 700. Babe Ruth, for a long time, had the record. Then came Hammer and Hank. And now, incredibly, Bonds. He's after 700. And with years left in a career, the chance to be the all-time home run king. He's going to come up this inning. Debbie Cruz leads it off against Santos. Cruz had a double and scored. RBIs by Bonds and Snow in the first inning, and then the home run by Grissom in the second to give the Giants the 3-0 lead as we were in the third inning. Chased. Slider just kept sliding.
Yeah, that one really broke a lot. Saw a shot of Barry Bonds on that top step. Looking at Santos, this is the first at bat he's had against him earlier today. And so one thing he's really good at doing is picking up tendencies from watching.
Foul ball. Umpire couldn't get any closer to that call than Ed Rapuano did. That landed on just shy of his big toe.
Yeah.
Barry waiting. Rapuano. Rich Donnelly down there telling him all kinds of good things. The delivery on the way, the 0-2 pitch, and another one. If it works once, do it again, I guess. Some new baseballs around this ballpark, Kyle.
Yeah, guys, we were talking about this earlier. The baseballs that will come in when Barry Bonds comes to the plate. It's really an extensive program that goes on. Linda Pantel's with Major League Baseball. She works in coordination with Deloitte & Touche, the accounting firm. The balls are in sequential order. Major League Baseball has marked each one of them. So when and if Bonds hits number 700 today, there's members of Major League Security out here in the outfield. They'll immediately find that fan, take him to a location they've already talked about to authenticate it, make sure that everything is on the up and up. So guys, there's plenty of planning going into this one. If 700 is hit, there'll be a lot of people that are involved in it from Major League Baseball side.
All right. And you, of course, will be catching it out there in right field, so you'll be able to report directly.
Yep.
What's happening? Bonds waiting on deck. Pedro Feliz drew a walk, scored. I said Rich Donnelly, a third base coach. That's the other side. Of course, Gene Glynn is down there talking with the umpire at third base for the Giants. One strikeout, one walk for Santos. One down, nobody on, and held up on that one. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Giants are not going to have to leave California once they get this series out of the way. They won't have to leave the state for the remainder of games to be played. 2-1 delivery on the way. That one's taken inside. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
And that's a big thing. I mean, you know, when you're on the West Coast, the travel, I think, is a little bit more difficult than being in the middle of the country and sometimes even on the East Coast. But staying in California makes it a whole lot easier.
That one hit right center field, way back, warning track wall, and goodbye, home run. Feliz gets it. And a 4-0 lead. Well, the Giants are hitting homers. It's just that Bonds hasn't had one of them yet. Feliz gets his 20th and 71st RBI.
Good thing, he got a ball up in the zone. Doesn't try to pull it, goes with it, and drives it out of here to right center field.
There are the balls put into play. Ball boy has those, and each time Bonds comes up, they bring on these marked baseballs. Bonds had a double and an RBI in the first inning. Brewer fans here hoping to see fans standing in right. And the pitch is taken away, ball 1. Santos and Bonds getting matched up for the first time. And Bonds taking that one. 2-0.
Last at bat, 2-0. He took a ball right down the middle. Let's see if he's going to be a little bit more aggressive here, 2-0.
Santos delivers, and Bonds will take that. Not missing by much, but they're away And the count is 3 balls and no strikes. Bonds obviously can swing away here with the bases empty. And a lead. 3-0 delivery to him, and he walks it. Santos surrenders his second walk. Bonds picks up yet another in that staggering department. 206 walks.
Santos not coming inside. He got burned the first time with the ball, and he doubled down the right field line. This time trying to stay away from him. 4 pitches.
There's number 207. And of those 207 walks he has picked up, 105 have been intentional free passes.
Yeah. Combine the total of 207 with the 124 hits. That means 331 times, he's been on base.
Lord.
Goodness gracious. And he scored 117 runs, and you would think being on base that much, he would score more runs than that, but I think it kind of, illustrates the Giants' problems in the trying to find a guy behind him who could be consistent at driving in runs. And they've tried, Feliz in that spot, Snow, Grissom, Alfonso. They tried a bunch of different guys in that spot.
JT Snow the chance here, and he fouls that one off. Snow had a sac fly, RBI in the first inning.
You talked about Barry being worn out this year. That's part of it. That's part of it right there. All the walks, all the base running, scoring runs.
Saw Matt Wise up in the bullpen. Santos, the 0-1 delivery. Popped up, second base. Ginter. Put that away. Snow's retired. 2 down. Bonds remains at first base. Brzezinski coming to the plate. So Santos getting in trouble early in this game with the 2 runs against him in the first inning. A homer by Grissom in the second inning. Another home run. Pedro Feliz coming here in the third. The Brewers early bullpen action. Taking up 5 for a ball. Santos, his 5th career appearance against the Giants. First start against them. He has gone 2-7 since the All-Star break with an ERA of 5.5 in 11 starts. Off the fists and back it into the screen. So he's had 2 different seasons. First half, all cheers. Second half, ouch.
It's kind of been the Brewers season too. Over 500 before the break, and now since the break, you see his numbers 2-7, over 5 ERA.
2-strike count with 2 down. Bonds off at first base. Chased that pitch that was inside. Bennett coming back, has room, and puts it away. So Brzezinski is retired. 1 run coming on the Feliz home run. 4-0 Giants. Welcome back, everybody. We get set to go here, bottom half of the 3rd inning. And Santos will stay in the ball game and will be leading it off here. Santos to be followed by the top of the order. The Giants leading it by a score of 4-0. Ryan Sabian, who is the vice president and general manager of the San Francisco Giants, joining us here in this half inning. Santos, a grounder to short. The quicker this inning goes by, the less he has to talk to us. So I know he's cheering for that.
I'm talked out.
You talked out? Ryan, I saw some stories I wanted to ask you about, though, regarding Barry. He said he wants to have his contract extended through 2007. Is that something the Giants will consider?
We'll consider the option as soon as the timing's right. 2007 remains to be seen. But I think the real statement was that he can vision himself playing until 2000, like the retired Giant.
Now he's got an option on 6. Is that right?
Yeah,
2006?
that's correct.
And you plan to, the organization plans to pick that up?
I think it's probably a foregone conclusion.
Okay. Just want to be sure. Want to get that on the record, that's all. How has this been for you? I mean, you're part of the entourage here. The Sednick up, takes that one right into the glove. 2 down. What's this been like?
You know, it's reminiscent of him doing the march towards the other records. And in some ways, it's a good distraction. I think you've seen the statistics. Lately when they don't pitch to him, we've been pretty darn good behind him. And when he does get a pitch, which, believe it or not, he does in most games, he's got a chance to do damage. And if it's not a home run, it's going to affect the game somehow.
Treat has been for the fans. Counsell will take that pitch, and it's down low for a ball. More importantly for you, what a finish you've got coming.
This is terrific. We'd like to think that we can get closer to the division lead and worry about that instead of the wild card, which is a crapshoot.
It's kind of what I figured most of these guys are thinking about. Thinking about catching the Dodgers, not really worrying about the wild card so much.
Well, as you know, Tony, it's an all-veteran team.
Yeah.
They're pretty unflappable, and I think they're realistic about what they need to do.
What's been your biggest surprise this year watching this team grow?
I think scoring the runs we have. I mean, we're number one in scoring runs over St. Louis. First in on-base percentage, struck out the least amount of times, first in RBIs. It's a testament to them being a veteran team.
That ball swung on, foul tipped, held on to, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Counsell. We were talking about the fact now your travel is going to be severely diminished for the rest of the year. That has to be a good thing and a little advantageous to stay in one state.
I think so. More so to have the next 9 games at home. We just need to figure out a way to win series, and maybe it'll take care of itself.
That one is chopped towards second base. You're a lucky man.
And the rookie gave up no runs.
Brian Savior. He comes in and holds for short half innings when he has to appear, and he got one. Winner,
thanks, guys.
Savior. Thanks. Looking for 700 today against John Burkett. He got number 300. Barry Bonds, one of the many celebrations that he has had with the 699 home runs. Giants have a 4-0 lead here. Bonds has doubled in a run and has walked in his 2 plate appearances today. Bottom third of the order again with Tucker Grissom and the pitcher due up as we go to the 4th inning. Victor Santos delivers. Good off-speed pitch. Tucker out in front.
Nice change up there, and that's one pitch he hadn't been able to consistently throw in the strike zone, and that was a good one.
4-4-0 for the Giants. 0-1-0 for the Brewers. He only hits with a single by Clark, leading off the 2nd inning for Milwaukee. Giants trying to extend their win streak to 5. We're talking about Barry Bonds and the contract. His contract situation is he gets $20 million next year and $18 million in an option year 2006, which the Giants are going to pick up. Barry has started talking about wanting to play through 2007, and while Brian said Barry had put it in terms of hoping to play, Barry said it would ease my mind if we could get the contract done. Well, somewhere between 15 and 20 million would ease a lot of minds. Actually, yeah. So he'd like to get them to extend it through 2007 if he could. He said, I'm not going to be able to play as many games in the next few years as I have in the past. I know that. I just can't do it, but I think I'd like to stay around for that long. And he said, I'm not saying I'll play through 2007, but I'd like to get the contract done, and then if I decide I should leave after 2006 or before, then I could just make that decision and step out of the contract.
Yeah, and you know, the thing you got to remember, this is the National League where you got to play. You got to play a position, and you know, jogging out there to left field every day for 150, 145 games, still it takes its toll on you. And having to make plays and stuff out there would be a little bit different if you considered, maybe DHing, and it's one of those things that you seem to get at the end of the year.
That one hit in the air to the gap, right center field. That's going to fall in. Sednick over, puts it away. Tucker is on. We talked about all the walks Bonds has, and yet the Giants win.
If you're walking me as many times as they have equivalently walked me, I mean, if you may give me more opportunities, we might be ahead. But without the opportunities, we're still winning ball games and we're still in this. And that's a great compliment to this ball club and these players. And I just think baseball hasn't really looked at that side of our team.
He's right about that. That's what Brian was saying, Tony. All the runs.
Yep, that's where all the runs come from. And it's not just him. Like we talked about, he's on base 332 times, 31 times. It's, it's a veteran club, and these guys, they're very patient at the plate. Usually they'll take pitches, they'll take their walks, they know how to run the bases, they know how to execute, and they're very good at cashing in the opportunities that they get.
Marquise Grissom swinging down on that one. Got his 20th home run in the second inning. Solo shot. 1 ball, 1 strike count. We talked about the walks. Barry Bonds, of course, setting the all-time mark again. The 207 walks he has now, breaking his own mark of 198 that he set in 2002. And the intentional walk record, I mean, he owned that record with 68. 68. He's got 105 this year.
And the 68, I believe, was set last year.
I mean,
so you know, he has gotten better as time has gone on and become even more of a threat than he was before.
Marquise Grissom, runner at first is Tucker. Grissom down to third, foul ball. And it goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And you know, even though they're the intentional walk numbers, he has the 3 high years, Willie McCovey, and then there he is again. You know that if you counted the times pitchers were never going to give him a pitch to hit, but it wasn't intentional,
Yep.
probably be 200 intentional walks. Because so many of the other walks he got were just guys throwing around him balls in the dirt.
The other amazing stat about Barry Bonds is 207 walks, only 33 strikeouts. He doesn't strike out very often. And so, you know, the fact that here's this great home run hitter that doesn't strike out a lot, and you know, there's just not that many of them in the game. So,
Nope, puts the ball in play. 1-2 delivery, runner at first, and Grissom down the left field line. Jenkins going over. Not out of play. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count continues on Grissom. One of the things the Giants have already done, they had Major League Baseball had the coin tosses for home field advantage for playoff games should there be one necessary on the 4th of October. Maybe the Giants ought to be selecting the lotto numbers for us all. Runner goes 1-2. Throw down. Not in time. A stolen base for Tucker. The Giants were 5 for 5 in coin tosses for the different scenarios where they might be involved in a playoff game. 5 for 5. So no matter what happens with that playoff game, they're going to be at home.
you're right. It's a good time to buy a lotto ticket.
Good time to buy a lotto ticket. A 2 ball, 2 strike count. I have time to ask Brian who made the selections, whether Brian did that or Alou. I think Alou actually called. 2-2. At least he was taking credit for it yesterday. Lou said, I just knew which side was coming up. Well, he did. There you see the wild card race, which is one of the reasons why there are so many different scenarios for a chance for a tie in a necessary playoff spot. And that's why they flipped that coin as often as they did. And another one down the left field line. Grissom got a lot of that. Jenkins going back in the corner. Disappears from our view. Puts it away. Apparently, based on the call of the umpire. So Grissom going after his second home run. Flies out into that left field corner. Our thanks to Ed Rapuano for a quick call as he went down the line at third.
Yep. Disappeared from view for us. Grissom hit this ball and just got it off the end. But when it left the bat, it looked like it had a chance to go out of here. But Jenkins was able to catch it in the corner, we guess, and get the out.
And here is Hennessy, the pitcher, grounded out his first time up. I was just handed a note, a press release actually, in the coin flips, and apparently Alou is taking credit as general manager deserved. Brian Sabean picked 4 times and got them all right, and then the Dodgers were able to call first and got it wrong. So Sabean's 5 for 5. We're going to talk to Alou and fine him for that. Although he did smile when he said it. A 1 ball, 1 strike count on Hennessy. Tucker's on at second base. Stolen base for him. The season he's had, this manager, where 3-4 years ago, the question was whether he was ever going to manage again and did he want to stay in the game. Santos, 1-1 pitch. Outside.
But yes, veteran club like the Giants have, you really enjoy playing for Felipe Alou because he knows the game. He's been around a long time and he knows these players know how to go about their business every day. You know they're going to take care of it. It's got to be kind of fun playing for a guy like Felipe because He can be very demanding at times, but when you go about your business the right way, he lets you go play.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Hennessy. Giants 4 runs, 5 hits, have Tucker on at second base. Hennessy trying to help his own cause here. Rounding out to second his first time up, and as we said, he's a pitcher who can put the bat on the ball with a couple of hits, 2 singles this year, but not that time. Chased one way up, and Victor Santos gets his second strikeout of the ball game. From the Babe to Bartman, it's the story of the 2 star-crossed franchises, Cubs, Red Sox. That's their names. ESPN takes that case to trial on who's cursed worse. It'll be Friday night at 10 Eastern, preceded by Red Sox Yankees at 7 o'clock. And ESPN will also have Sunday afternoon's game at 1. Red Sox and Yankees, their weekend series. A slider taken inside. Durham up 0 for 2 is popped out and grounded up. He's got the RBI chance. Tucker with speed on at second base. Takes that one away.
Santos still getting balls up in the zone here. Giants have scored in every inning thus far and have another opportunity here. 2 out hit, give them another run.
Santos has to pitch a little scared, I would think, in the second half. He's had every mistake he's had hit since the All-Star break. 2-ball, 1-strike count and 2 away.
We talked about it in the open. His changeup or his split, those 2 pitches have been big for him, but today he just hadn't been able to. He's gotten one changeup that was really, I think it was Brzezinski who was out front.
Gets the fly ball on this one, and that'll be hauled in. Puts it away. Durham is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base with the Giants up 4-0 over. Another milestone. 1998. That's number 400. Little did he know how quickly he would progress from there to the day where he'd be 1 shy of 700, which is today. Overbay, first ball hitting down to first. A.T. Snow is there. Let's see where Kyle's hiding out. Kyle Peterson.
Gary, I'm in a spot right now. I don't even think that Barry Bonds can hit it. We're out with Bernie, up in Bernie's chalet, up deep left field, right on top of Bonds, actually. But Bernie stays out here. One of the Brewers hit a home run. Bernie zips down the slide back behind me, and he's given the okay for me to zip down this slide. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure. But Bernie ain't got to go down the slide quite as much as he's wanted this year, but I think I might try my hand on it here in a minute.
Oh, I'm waiting on this one. It's a workers' comp, just in case. Jenkins at the plate. Kyle getting ready. That was a nice suit. Swung out and missed. A ball and a strike. Jenkins flied out to left field his first time up.
Now he says he's going. I'm going to sit here and watch and see if he goes.
That's a pretty good slide.
He's scared to death up there.
Not with you. The 1-1 to Jenkins. Brad Hennessy has walked 1, struck out 3. He has given up 1 hit, a single in the second inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kyle talking, being urged on. 2-1 delivery on the way. Center field. Grissom. Shadow to sunlight, puts it away, and there are 2 down. All right, here we go, Kyle. We wish you Godspeed.
So I go hit first, boys?
You can go anywhere you want.
Just make sure you make that first turn.
After all, it might be beer in that bucket, so hit first is a good idea. Where are you? Holy moly.
We need a little bit bigger landing area. I'll tell you that right now.
You came shooting out of there pretty good. Are you okay?
Oh, we're ready to go, but they might want to make a little bigger landing area for Bernie. Something we might want to write in the suggestion box here.
I think it's that silky suit you've got on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was sliding.
It was all right.
I heard a pretty good thump when you ran into that wall at the end.
Yeah, I felt a pretty good thump.
Oh. Thought they were supposed to have beer in a bucket at the end of that thing. Clark, who's had the only hit, gets another one. So Brady Clark is on. 2 singles in the ball game for Milwaukee, and he's got both of them.
Hit that ball hard and took a big hop over Felice's glove over at third. Big hop right at the lip of the grass over there. Third base shot way over the glove.
Felice could not get the glove up in time to hang on to that. Here's Branyan. He was called out on strikes. His first at bat. Hennessy's got 2 down here. See if the numbers hold true for Brad Hennessy, who is making just his 6th start. The opponents have hit .211 the first time through the order and .409 after that.
Wow. So far, Clark's the only guy that's been able to figure him out.
The 0-1 delivery, as we are in the after that part of that number.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Any game, Tony, pitched like this by Brad Hennessy for the Giants is an enormous boost.
Absolutely, it is. It is. Anytime you can throw one of your young guys out there and he's getting outs, he's eating up innings for you. That's a huge lift, especially the fact that the Giants bullpen is in pretty good shape right now. And if you can go out and give them 5, 6 innings, it makes it easier for Felipe Alou to piece it together from that point on.
Barry Bonds is going to be coming up in the next half inning for the Giants. He'll be 3rd up in the inning. He's had 2 at-bats, has doubled and walked. 1-1 delivery, foul back. We said the Giants will play San Diego on Friday. PV against Noah Lowry. Saturday, it'll be Jason Schmidt going for the Giants against David Wells, and Sunday, Justin Germano will be facing the Giants' Kirk Rader. So those are the Friday, Saturday, Sunday matchups for the Giants in San Diego. And Bonds will obviously be greeted back home either because he's done it or because he'll have a chance to do it at home.
Padres have been a team that Barry's just absolutely worn out over his career.
You are well aware of that.
Well aware. A lot of those balls went over my head, way over my head.
Would you turn around and watch, or did you just?
Oh, I had to. We had a little running battle when we played against each other. He would play shallow and take away hits from me, and there was nothing I could do because every ball he hit against us was, out of the ballpark. And so.
You have to buy a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only way I could catch him.
2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Up high with it, 3-2. Runner Tucker, or rather Clark, will be going with 2 away. Our day games from Milwaukee. Following Barry Bonds, the quest for 700, and the Giants in their quest for a division or wild card postseason spot. The Brewers trying to play the spoiler. 3-2, runners off, and we'll do it again. With the loss by the Brewers last night, they are guaranteed their 12th consecutive losing season. Ouch.
I think they're heading in the right direction. I really do. I think they've got some talented young guys in the minor league system. They've got, some really good players, good young players here. And I think the first half this year taught them that, when you execute and you do things right, you can win. They're, like we talked about, we're over 500 at the break.
Runner going, foul back again. The Brewers are up for sale. Bud Selig's daughter, of course, running the ball club. His interest in trust. They've got 3 groups who have been identified. Mark Antisayo from Los Angeles, Daniel Gilbert from Livonia, Michigan, and an unidentified third party, but no local interest. Now, this ballpark was built with sales tax receipts. They've got a contract that says this team has to stay here for 30 years. So if this thing is sold, it supposedly has to be sold to a group that will keep the ball club here. Runner going again, and another foul ball. The stadium district that provided the sales tax money owns 70% of the ballpark, and they will have a say as if the team is sold as to any new lease, and they supposedly legally would have the right to deny the sale if it was sold to a group that wanted to move it. So the Brewers still under discussion as to the sale of this franchise. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Branyan, 3-2 again. This time he's on. So O'Brien draws the walk, and the Brewers trying to mount something here in the 4th inning with 2 down. Second walk given up by Brad Hennessy.
That was interesting when Brian Sabian was here when we were talking about the Giants club as a veteran club. They still have their sights set on winning the division. You know, as good as they've played here in this last run, you know, that's not good enough. You know, they want to try to win the division. And it's a pride thing. You know, the wild card's nice. It's nice to be in first, to lead that. But when you start the year out, you want to win the division. The Giants are still focused on trying to catch LA.
And obviously have the, as we said before, the opportunity to do that. Dodgers have been one of the most surprising teams all season long with their 84 wins, 3.5 ahead of the Giants. That one in the air to right center field. Ginter, long fly ball. Grissom will put it away. No runs, 1 hit, and a couple of left on base. Berry's still looking for number 700, and he will be due up third when we come back. A 4-0 lead for the Giants as we go to the 5th inning. Barry Bonds will be coming up. We'll have a new pitcher, Matt Wise, out of Montclair, California. And Hall has come on to play. Bill Hall at second base in the double switch. Wise delivers. Slider. Debbie Cruz doesn't catch up to. Cruz 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored.
Wise's numbers. Not a bad ERA considering.
He was a non-roster invitee. Came up through the Anaheim organization. Played minor league ball this year. Center field. Easy play made. Sending over to get him. Debbie Cruz retired. Went away here in the 5th inning. Wise has never pitched against the Giants, so we got another pitcher when Bonds comes up for all these Giant batters he has not seen before.
And you know what? When you're facing a guy that you hadn't seen before, you really kind of have to stick to the things that you do, not really worry so much about how his ball moves and things like that, because you can look when you're in the on-deck circle, you can look when you're watching him warm up from the bench, but you're not going to know until you get into that batter's box and kind of see what's going on. But you know, these guys are professional guys, and they'll figure it out.
Lees, who had a home run earlier, takes that one to right field. Clark balls it in, and here comes Bonds.
First up in the 1st inning, he took this ball and lined it down the right field line for a double. And in the 3rd inning, he saw 4 pitches, and all of them were balls. He took his walk. So you got a young guy on the mound facing Barry Bonds, and knowing what's at stake here, see if Barry gets any pitches to hit.
Right field, all standing. It's packed down there as they look for that 700th hologram baseball to be hit down to them. Bond stands in against Matt Wise. 2 down. And the pitch is away for a ball. It's after his 7th MVP title. He desperately wants another Gold Glove. In fact, he's almost got for a Gold Glove, and he has the 700 home runs. He has 8 Gold Gloves. The last one he won was in '98. He thinks he deserves one this year. And he certainly has got to be among those considered in the outfield. His 3rd in assists for outfielders. 2-0 delivery to Bonds. The home run cut. 2-1.
Like something off speed there, 2-0. We talked about his first at bat. He took a 2-0 pitch. This time 2-0. He takes a little bit off, and he's out in front. And that's where knowledge of knowing what kind of pitches the guy has really comes into play. 2-0. You figure, God, he's probably going to come right at me.
2-1 delivery to him, and Bonds rips it into right field. Oh, what a catch made by Hall. Oh, got over his head. Sorry. Thought he had it. Went over his head. Hall was playing softball right field. and he jumped up and was right there, almost perfectly positioned. Bonds will get another base hit.
I thought he caught it too, and this is another off-speed pitch. Barry a little bit out in front, and it just barely goes off the end of Hall's glove out in short right field.
He thought he had it too. Did not. So Bonds gets his second hit. He's had a double and a single today and a walk on all 3 times. That on base percentage. How can it climb?
No.
But I guess it is. That'll bring up Snow. So Snow's had Bonds on in front of him in all 3 at bats now. He had a sac fly and has popped out, and the folks will go get another Bron. Snow waiting on the 1-0.
Now here's this location on the pitch to Bonds again. He takes a little bit off, is out over the plate, and he takes it and just kind of hooks this ball in the short right field for a base hit. And the thing with Barry is you forget the fact that he's got all these home runs. He's leading the league in hitting. And his on-base percentage just jumped up a couple more points to 611. 611.
Yeah, how far ahead he is in that department. Todd Helton is second at 461.
Now, normally 461, we're saying, wow.
That one towards short. Third baseman's over to get it, though. And Branyan makes the play. They had the shift on J.T. Snow. So Bonds, 3 plate appearances, a walk, a double. The all-time home run leader. Hammer and Hank Aaron, who hit so many here in Milwaukee. Babe Ruth, 714. Second for Bonds, 699. Still and so close. 15 home runs behind Babe Ruth and 56 behind Hank Aaron.
Wow. It's amazing.
And talking about playing maybe through 2007. Bennett will be leading it off for the Brewers. Then Hall, who's going to be batting in the 9 spot, and was, I think, at the top of the order. 4-6-0 for the Giants, 0-2-0 for Milwaukee. Bennett batting at 225. Brad Hennessy, outstanding start. A couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. Hennessy has had the 1 win in his 6 starts, coming against Philadelphia, the second start he made at the majors. Since then, he's had 2 no-decision games and a loss. 1-1 delivery, and the pitch misses inside. Bennett 2-1.
He's been impressive today. He's been able to mix his pitches up, change speeds, go in and out. Been working ahead most of the day today, and he's done exactly what the Giants needed him to do.
It was the Giants' first-round selection and 21st overall in 2001. So they are hoping, and obviously he's getting moved along quickly. AA, AAA in the major leagues all this year for the 24-year-old right-hander. Hennessy with a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Bennett. Talking about the Red Sox and Yankees, that series coming up with ESPN having a game at 7 o'clock on Friday, 1 o'clock on Sunday. They also had the flip of the coin in case there would be a playoff game, and the Yankees won that. So if the Red Sox Yankees were to have to play a playoff game on October 4, it would be in New York. That one grounded towards third. Feliz makes the play. 1 away here in the 5th inning. Arroyo and Hernandez. And Hernandez, you think he hasn't mattered to that New York team? Especially now with Kevin Brown down and questionable about coming back. Look at the numbers.
No.
And there's a matchup. Martinez and Mussina. Martinez a loss in his last outing. Mussina maybe with his best performance in his last outing.
Throwing the ball well, 2 straight wins.
Hunt for October will continue. Friday at 7, Sunday at 1. ESPN. That one fouled off. Yankees 11-1 in the starts made by Hernandez. And he's got 8 wins himself. One strike count. Hall first at bat. takes that pitch with one down and nobody on. Bill Hall, 9 home runs, 52 RBIs for him. Coming on to play at second base, a double switch.
This is a good pitch on the other half of the plate. The Brewers, I'm sure, are used to playing day games with this shadow, but pitcher standing in the sunlight, hitters are in the shade.
You loved that as a hitter, didn't you?
Oh.
He's gone. Hall called out on strikes. A reminder, Saturday ABC's college football back. Regional doubleheader, first at noon Eastern. The Huskers take on the Pitt Panthers at 3:30 Eastern. Oregon battles number 2 Oklahoma or Ohio State, North Carolina State. Those on the West Coast will see UCLA battle Washington at 4 Pacific. ABC college football. That's in there for a strike. Sednick leading off. 0 for 1 and a walk today at 246 on the year now. Hennessy's delivery is taken to left center field. Bonds hauls it in. And another good inning. Hennessy retires the side in order. 4-0 Giants leading here in Milwaukee.
Keep going.
And that's what we're going to do. Our day game in Milwaukee. Folks on hand, and Bonds will get another at bat in this game. Brzezinski leading it off here. Brzezinski has flied out and popped out. 0 for 2. Tucker and Grissom to follow. 11 home runs and 75 RBIs. He leads National League catchers in the RBI department. And the 75 he's put up establishes a new career high. He had 74 with the Twins last year. Brzezinski with a 1-ball 1-strike. Center field. A little shy of the warning track. Sednick makes the catch, and Kyle, without a bandaged head, is still with us. Kyle.
Yeah, we're back on firm ground here. But Trevor Gribble, who he and his friend Eli are taking quite a trip here. Trevor, tell us exactly what's going on here.
Me and Eli, we just graduated from UCLA, and we're going on a 35-day road trip across the country, going to baseball games in college towns. And this is our 10th game so far. We were in Atlanta. We saw Bonds at 695 and 696, and we're pretty excited to be here for the chance to catch number 700.
Okay, now we're out in the right field stands. Obviously, there's a chance that you might catch 700 along with me as well. But if you catch it, here's the big question. What are you going to do with it?
Well, see, it's kind of a spur-of-the-moment question. I'm a huge Dodger fan, and I really hate the Giants and Barry Bonds. And it's a good chance I might think about throwing it back, but then there's a lot of money involved, and I have no clue. I'm just going to, go with the emotions and the adrenaline and see what happens.
All right, Trevor, we appreciate it. Guys?
Okay, let's take a vote on what he's going to do. Did he say money? Okay. Here's Tucker. And that one is bounced outside. So we know what you're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can go to eBay the minute after he catches it. You'll find it.
They're going to come to him.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't have to go to eBay.
He has his own website coming up. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Shift on against Tucker. Gets right into that one.
He was honest. He said he's a huge Dodger fan.
That's right. Barry would never see that ball.
No,
again.
it's
Two down. Marquise Grissom coming up.
It's one of the amazing parts of the game and how the game has changed with, the advent of eBay and, people wanting to pay a whole lot of money for baseballs and bats and things. And
Used to be a given. You just give the ball back.
Just give it back.
You'd get a signed bat or glove or something, and that'd be it.
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't had many things in my career where I wanted it back, and I tried to trade a bat and a jersey. That just wasn't going to get it done. So.
Have your people talk to his people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Marquise Grissom is the 1-1 delivery, and Grissom fights it off. How about this one? You talk about how the game has changed for Bonds. This one a little bothers me. Bonds has got his own website. Barry's refused to talk to the press when he's been approaching the 700 mark. But Major League Baseball's got somebody who's writing on MLB.com a story for Barry every day using Barry's words, and then Barry puts it on his website, which of course sells a lot of memorabilia. got no problem with Barry's website selling memorabilia or anything else he wants to do. I have a problem, though, with Major League Baseball providing an outlet for him, and the only outlet when he refuses to talk to the rest of the press. I don't like that. I don't think Major League Baseball should be doing that. I think that's unfair to the press, and it's an unfair precedent. What if every player who's of public interest decides he's not going to talk to the press and has his own website and says, if you want to hear what I'm thinking, feeling, or saying, go to my website, which is in essence what Barry's done. And that's fine if Barry does it. But when MLB gets involved and they're using it on MLB.com and nobody else gets any of it, that one's another foul ball. That's a little troublesome.
I agree. Especially this time, you know, when you get into these milestone things, you know, people want to know. They want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. You know, you try to get to 3,000 every day. You know, somebody had a question, how do you hit this guy? And I would admit, I'm sure it's got to get tiresome. I'm sure there are days where you want to take some time off, but
that's part of the job.
Yes, exactly right. I think it is.
You were there. Handled by Jenkins. Grissom retired. 1-2-3 inning. 4. We've been taking a look back on this day at other milestones. Barry Bonds, 2001. Terry Adams, the pitcher, number 500. And a celebration. Today, Barry Bonds, a double, a single, and a walk. As we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, we will see him coming to the plate again. Craig Counsell leads it off here for Milwaukee. Counsell's had an 0 for 2. 2 singles. Brady Clark in the game. The only hits that have been surrendered by Brad Hennessy, the right-hander, the starter for the Giants. He came into this game, the opponent's hitting .337 off him overall. It's not going to hurt those numbers today.
Yeah.
1-1 misses inside. 2-0-1 strike count.
Like you talked about, he's been able to throw all his pitches for a strike. And for the most part, he's been working ahead all day long. Pitch count, 73 pitches. He's only walked 2 guys. He's gotten to that point in the game where he's, you know, the Giants should be fine bullpen-wise too.
Yeah. Longest outing, 6 innings against Montreal. He helps himself there. Hennessy gets it over to Snow. Counsell is retired, 1 down. Overbay coming to the plate. Milwaukee going quietly most of these innings. They've left only 4 on base, 2 in scoring position in the game. Just has not been much going on offensively for this Brewers club against the Giants here today. The Giants have a 4-1 lead in the season series, wrapping it up here today against Milwaukee. 1-0 count. Overbay hitting at .311 now. The doubles leader in the National League takes that pitch up high, and you can almost see the tank for Hennessy is closing in on E. Kind of heaving the baseball a little, and the mechanics are beginning to fall apart a little bit.
Well, this was the first inning where it looks like he's really having to kind of remind himself of what he needs to be doing out there.
Second base under the glove. Durham tried to backhand that. Probably a base hit. Ray might have wanted to try and get in front of that. I think he kind of side-saddled out.
Kind of, yeah, he did. And after it got by him, he turned around and looked at the scoreboard like we're looking at it, see if it's a hit or an error. But I think it's a ball that he definitely should have come up with.
He decided very early he was going to backhand it. Here's Jenkins. He fouls that one off the catcher.
Take another look. See, Overbay hits this ball hard, but he got his glove down far enough, and maybe coming from the shadows into the sun was a problem. But I think that's a ball that most second basemen are going to come up with.
Still no decision.
Trying to decide whether we give the hometown guy a hit here or we give Durham the error.
Jenkins Fastball away to him. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. A 4-0 lead for the Giants. The Brewers still very much within striking distance if they can put a couple of hits together here. And it will be an error charge to Durham. That one shallow left field. Shortstop. Cruz goes back and makes the play. Jenkins is retired. Let's find Kyle Peterson. Kyle.
Yeah, Gary, Jeff Jenkins playing today with a lot on his mind. His mom Patty's in Sacramento right now. She will have brain surgery later on today. She's watching the game. And he wanted to make sure that he knew that, or that she knew that he was thinking of her, and wanted to make sure that we passed along good thoughts too for him. So Patty, he is thinking of you as this game goes on right now.
Certainly. Boy, that's a tough way to try and play a baseball game. 2 down here. Clark, 2 singles, 2 of the only 2 hits. That one to right field. Tucker. Sun, shadows in baseball. He's got it. No runs, an error, 1 left on. Giants leading at 4. This is what you've been waiting for. Bratwurst, Polish, Italian, and hot dog. As George Jones would say, the race is on. And that's not pride in the backstretch.
Do we know if Kyle's in one of those?
Kyle is in one of those.
He's been everywhere
it's the
today.
one you can't see. It's the hot dog trailing. I think Kyle finished 4th. The Bratwurst, a tremendous finish. Led from beginning to end. 7th inning. And there wasn't even one bat seen during that race. Swung on and missed. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Brad Hennessy has struck out and grounded out. Durham, Cruz, Feliz, and then Bonds is the order. 1 and 2. Hennessy, their starter, done a tremendous job pitching a 2-hit shutout against Milwaukee. Little chopper. He's got a chance for a hit on this. Got it. Have to go back to the dugout.
Yeah. That's normally the kind of ball that you can smell a hit on it, you're going to try to get it. And Bennett jumped out there nicely and was able to make the play. It looked like he didn't even hit first base there.
Well, I'm sure get back to the dugout. Good play. Tough play on a ball that was rolled down the line. Almost a perfect swinging bunt right there. 1 away here in the 7th, top of the order. Here's Durham. Durham's 0 for 3. Switch hitter stands in with a .263 batting average. Fouls that first pitch right straight back. The Giants looking to hold their spot in the wild card and hope to gain some ground. They can pick up the victory here today on the Dodgers in the race for the division title. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The thing they do is just keep the pressure on. Keep winning games. Especially these afternoon games.
That's a strike taken. Didn't like the call. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Ray Durham.
It's a breaking ball that was Ray Durham thought was up.
That's how he said so. That one off the fist, and again, and they're not able to find out where that ball was, but it was over the screen. Here's the wild card race, and it is that, with the Giants leading it over the Cubs, Astros, Padres, and Marlins. And the Giants and Padres coming up with that big 3-game weekend series. 1-2 delivery to Durham. This is outside with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
After San Francisco plays the Padres this week, the Astros come in.
Only big games left.
Yep.
2 down here in the 7th inning. October, 8 teams, 1 championship. The race to the World Series is on. Catch all the action on ESPN and ESPN2. Don't miss it. Added games being put on ESPN, ESPN2 down the stretch. Strikeout. Wise gets it. 2 down. up. He has doubled in 3 at-bats, scored 1 of the runs. Bonds had an RBI double. Stowe a sac fly in the first. Grissom a home run. And Felice a home run. Nice play at third. Branyan. They get the out. So that will retire the Giants, meaning Bonds will be coming up next time the Giants get their reps.
If a homemade dune buggy can have an off-road suspension, if a solar car can use lightweight materials to increase fuel efficiency, if a vehicle this small can have incredible power, then why can't your truck? At GMC, our engineers don't just ask questions, they have answers. Introducing the mid-size GMC Canyon. Professional-grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Yo, Pete! How you doing?
Your boss should only bet on things he knows.
You want Pete to bet on baseball?
Roll the dice, take a chance.
Hustle, Saturday, September 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Presented with limited commercial interruptions.
Sports People Hawaii, a program about Hawaii's young people achieving, both on the playing fields and in the classrooms. We have highlights and scores of this past week's high school football games. John Nolan introduces us to the young man that leads the Farrington Governors on and off the field. And Jen Beniza tells us about a young lady that uses volleyball to cope with one of life's hardest lessons. I'm Jack Weirs. Join us for stories you'll see only here on ESPN.
And get your claims done fast, done right, guaranteed. Call for your money-saving auto insurance quote.
7th inning stretch time. Miller Park, our day game from Milwaukee on a beautiful late summer day. On with Kyle Peterson, Tony Gwynn, I'm Gary Thorne. Bonds has had the 2 for 2. The RBI double, single walk. Let's take a look at him, Tony.
Got a ball inside, double down the left, down the right field line, and then in the 3rd inning was a 4-pitch walk. In the 5th, he got a change-up and kind of top spin in the right field for a base hit just off the Billy Hall's glove at second base. And so although the fans are here to see him hit that home run, he's 2 for 2 with a walk and been very productive.
And we'll be coming up one more time in the 8th inning. That one drilled to right field. Russell Branyan near the warning track and hauled in. Boy, Branyan got a hold of that one. Good play by Tucker to get back. He got a good jump. 1 down.
Hennessy's just throwing strikes.
Got a lead to work with. We will get a pinch hitter as the pitcher, Matt Wise, hitting in the spot, will be coming out of the ball game. And Trent Durrington will come to the plate. Durrington has had 68 at-bats this season with the big club. A couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. So Durrington up, Wise out of there.
Yeah, Hennessy doing a nice job getting ahead of hitters, throwing strikes, mixing his pitches up. Breaking ball again in the outside corner. Wise did a nice job for Milwaukee coming in, giving them 3 shutout innings in relief.
Gave up just 1 hit. Out of there now for a pinch hitter. Durrington takes it in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Adams getting ready in the bullpen. Coming on as their 3rd pitcher. That's that, and not happy about it. Giants also, Brower's up in the bullpen for them. Said Hennessy 6 innings, his longest outing in the 6 starts he's had, major league level. He's got 5 strikeouts now in the game.
He really has had no trouble, really. Well, Sidnick walked and stole second and was in scoring position, and he worked his way out of that. really hadn't been much trouble at all.
That was way back in the first inning.
Exactly.
Here's Bennett hitting at 224 right now, the catcher. We're talking about that Giant schedule when they go back home. We're looking during that break, Tony, with San Diego and Houston, then L.A., and then they got San Diego and L.A. on the road. What a finish the Giants have in their race for either the division or the wild card spot.
So whatever they end up with, if they win the division or win the wild card spot, they're going to earn it. No pushovers from here on out.
Playing the division teams, battling with them. Bennett with a 2-0 delivery with 2 away. Pitch is taken outside. That is one tough finish. And they are 11 and 18 combined against those teams, San Diego, Houston, L.A.
Come here in Milwaukee and really done what they should do. Milwaukee's under 500. You need to win those games. The Giants have been able to do that. Go home and Padres, Houston, L.A. all at home. And then San Diego and L.A. on the road to finish it up. So they got their work cut out for them.
Taken down low. That said, the same is true for the Padres and the Dodgers.
Exactly. Well, the Dodgers are the team that's winning. They're in first place. So if you're going to catch them, you're going to have to beat them. You're going to have to beat them. You go into a 3-game series, you're going to have to sweep them to gain ground, because anything less than that, 2 or 3, you're only going to gain 1 game.
Dave Righetti on his way up, pitching coach for the Giants, to talk with Hennessy, who over the last couple of innings has clearly struggled a little bit. There you see those teams involved in the National League West with the Dodgers 3.5 ahead. Padres' chances are extremely slim. I mean, they're not going to catch the Dodgers without a miracle finish. The hope there for the Padres is obviously the wild card. Giants have both up for grabs, and the Dodgers, as Tony said, the team you got to beat to get there.
Yep.
The Chicago Cubs, they've got a 12-game, 11-day road trip, including a 1-day trip to Florida to play a doubleheader. So the Cubs, talking about tough finishes, that's caused by the weather, the hurricane. Cubs are going to have to do it on the road and all at once. Here's Bill Hall batting in the 9 spot. His only at bat, he was a strikeout victim. 2 down, runner on at first base as Bennett drew the walk. Still only 2 hits off Hennessy, 2 singles. And the pitch is taken inside. 2-0. Hall, the Posednik, top of the order to follow.
This was one situation Hennessy has stayed away from pretty much most of the day, falling behind a hitter 2-0.
Right. Outside corner there. We will see Barry Bonds again. 4th plate appearance will be coming up in the next half inning. Another chance at that magic number, 700. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's going to be taken to center field. Hit hard, but an atom ball. Grissom's got it, and that will do it. The folks in right field, knowing they probably are going to have just one more chance for Bonds to hit number 700 and for them to get that big souvenir. The Babe, Hammer and Hank, the only 2 to reach the 700 home run mark. Barry Bonds will get another shot at it. Still sitting at 699 despite a productive day at the plate today. He will be on deck here in the 8th inning. Mike Adams, a 26-year-old right-hander, will come on to pitch for Milwaukee. He got called up early back in May from AAA. A topper, Feliz. 1 pitch, 1 out. And here comes Bonds.
Next batter in the left field, Barry Bonds.
So he got his first 2 at-bats against Santos, his 3rd against Wise, and now his 4th plate appearance will be against Mike Adams. That makes it even tougher.
Yeah. We only got to see 1 pitch to Feliz. See what kind of velocity Adams had, and Adams throwing the changeup the first pitch. So
Bonds up and takes the fastball inside. Everybody's got a glove or a target and a hope. We're out there in the right field area. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Bonds. Into the dirt and by. Fans blue ball two. Amazing numbers. Still leading the league by a lot. Upping it today. 372 average. 2-0 delivery. Bonds waiting on it. It's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1.
Adams with a little tailing fastball. Looking off the outside corner.
Fans know it's their last chance to see it in person. 2-1 strike count. Delivery to Bonds. Takes that one to the gap in left center field. That's going to fall in for another base hit. So a double and 2 singles today for Bonds. I hear a roar in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Where they will fill the ballpark. And barring some unusual circumstance, this at-bat will be his last. And there's not going to be any other circumstance because he's coming out of the game.
Nice hitting by Berry. You see it. Took a little bit off a breaking ball and stayed back and just carved it into left field for a base hit. And he could do that all the time if he chose to.
Jason Ellison will come on to pinch run. And Bonds is out of the game, picking up 3 hits and drawing a walk. And Ellison in for him at first base as JT Snow stands in. So his next chance will come at home. And the pitch by Adams up high for a ball. Snow an RBI and a sac fly, 0 for 2. Berry out of the game. 1-0 pitch is taken outside. Tony was talking about, we're obviously concentrating on the home runs, but that batting title certainly looks like it's going to be his.
That's pretty much a lock.
I don't think anybody's going to catch him with the advantage he has over Mark Loretta. Bonds getting up to 370 today, and Loretta at 344.
Yeah, in today's game, when you get to September, it's hard to raise your average, a point or 2 when you get to September. But in his case, because of all the walks, he came in today at 368, and he's probably up to 374 now.
Snow 3-0. 1 down, 1 on. Giants trying to add to their lead. They're out hitting the Brewers 7-2, but they've outscored them 4-0. Bonds has been a part of that today, getting on every time up. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Runner goes. Throw down. Not in time. So Ellison will get the stolen base. Jason Ellison, as Bennett goes out, talk to Adams, who did not take much of a look over there at first base.
He didn't. Ellison got a real good jump. Bennett did all he could. He made a perfect throw. Just the jump that Ellison got off of Adams was the difference.
His first stolen base. He's appeared in only 7 games this year. Ellison a call-up for the Giants. 3-2 delivery. Inside pitch that's grounded to third. Runyon off the mark. And Ellison still at second base as he did not go with that ball hit in front of him. Snow is on the error on the throw by Branyan.
Branyan had a little bit more time. He tried to rush that throw over. Overbay did a nice job of just catching that ball, but it's an error and another opportunity for the Giants.
Well, the Brewers with their first error of the game. Keeps the door open here with only one away. Pierzynski, who's had an 0 for 3, takes that pitch inside corner for a strike. So with Berry's numbers, here they are updated with the 3 for 3 that he had today.
374 in September. It's impossible. I mean, Beltre, Loretta, Hilton, Casey, they all could get hot here in September, but because of the at-bats that they have, that they've accumulated, it's going to be really hard to pick up 10, 15 points.
Much less 30.
Exactly. So, I mean, you might as well hand the silver bat over to Berry now.
That one down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. Oh, what a nice catch made in foul territory, Branyan. Not only over his shoulder, going backwards, but there was a lot of sun.
It's a nice play by Branyan. He went a long way for that ball.
Makes up for the error right there in that play. There are 2 down. Tucker up. Runners still at first and second base. Great defensive effort and sliding to get it.
Brandon made a nice play. I'm sure he'd feel a lot better about it if he can get another out here without a run scored. Because the ball he caught should have been the 3rd out of the inning.
Tucker's had a single, 1 for 3. Bonds had fallen behind Ichiro for the major league lead in average. With the hits he's had today, goes ahead of him. Ichiro at 370, leading the American League in hitting. He's way ahead of Melvin Moore, who's hitting 342 in Baltimore.
Ichiro's done it the old-fashioned way. He's had to hit because he doesn't walk a whole lot, so he's had to bang. I mean, he's got 233 hits and is hitting 370, and Berry's got 127 and is hitting 374. So I mean, there's different ways to go about getting to that 400 mark, and that's kind of, I still think the next thing that's going to fall is that sooner or later somebody's going to make a run at it. But I have to admit, Berry's come up with a way I hadn't thought about. Walking 210, 15 times. There's probably easier way to do it.
No one foul back. Ichiro still chasing the Sisler mark as far as hits concerned in a season. He still has a shot at it, on pace to break it, although he slowed down a little bit of late.
Yeah, I think it's going to get tougher too, because you're playing teams in the hunt. They know that he's the cog in there in that line. Where you want to beat Seattle, you got to shut him down. I just think it's going to be tough for him. I mean, he's been on a great run, and he's shown the ability to put the bat on the ball, but I think if he's going to put the bat on the ball, it's going to have to be on a lot of balls that are going to be out of the strike zone. I think they're just not going to let him beat it.
Only a couple of weeks to go in the season. That'll be played to first. Overbay makes the play on Tucker. No runs a hit. A couple are left on base. Barry Bonds out of the ball game. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us for our day game from Miller Park, where the Giants are shutting out the Brewers 4-0. Tennessee, 7 innings, no runs, couple of hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts, and a great job done. Now the Giants make a couple of changes. Scott Air comes on to do the pitching.
Scott Air comes in and he goes in the 7th spot. And this has been his spot in the bullpen rotation here. He's a setup guy, and he's done pretty well.
Been a workhorse.
ERA's a little bit high, but he's been able to go out there and throw strikes. And this is another situation where they need him to throw strikes and get these left-handed hitters out.
2-0 count. Leday comes on to play in right field. And Dustin Moore's on in left. Bonds out of there. That one to center. Grissom is still there and hauls it in. But Sudnick is retired, 1 away in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
All these left-handed hitters coming up. Pasetnik and now Council, and on deck Overbay. And after him, Jenkins. It's an opportunity for Air to come in and get lefties out.
Ray Council at 235 now. He's had an 0 for 3 today. Air with a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Giants have just dominated this game against the Brewers. Chance to sweep this series 3-2, 8-1 the first 2 games, and now 4-0. The Brewers this year have been shut out 13 times on the season. The Giants have 6 shutouts of their own. Their pitchers have thrown. That'll be fouled back in an 0-2 count on Council.
Yeah, they've done, like we talked about earlier, exactly what they have to do. September, every game's important. You know, they got a well-pitched game today from Hennessy, who did his job. He came in and gave them 7 strong innings. They've had just enough offense to, you know, to give themselves a lead, and they've been able to stand up.
0-2 count on Council. Air. Left-hander's pitch is outside to him. 1-2.
Felipe wanted to rest Berry. 4-0 lead. You know, I guess he thought, you know, the way this series has gone, he could afford to take him out.
Concerned about extra innings?
Yeah, baseball's a crazy game.
Yes, it is. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Left field into the sunshine. Moore's there, puts it away. Council's retired. Want to remind you, want to take a vote on the curses? Is it the Cubs or the Red Sox curse the worst? The Cubs Red Sox Friday night at 10 Eastern, preceded by the Red Sox Yankees, which will be at 7 o'clock. All coming up for you, ESPN. Who's cursed on Friday at 10? Game on at 7 on Friday, and then Sunday at 1 o'clock on ESPN. 2 of the 3 Red Sox games against the Yankees this weekend. Lyle Overbay takes the pitch down low for a ball. Overbay 0 for 3. Did reach on an error his last time up. This Milwaukee team hitting only .255 in the month of September as a team. Not producing runs, and the struggle has continued here so far today. Foul back.
These young hitters will learn from this year, especially when you take the whole year. You look at how well they played in the first half of the season when they were able to execute, and then you look and see how they struggled here in the second half of the season. And there's a direct correlation between the execution part of things. Before the break, they hit better with guys in scoring position, hit some balls out of the ballpark. And at the same time, when the second half comes along, pitchers have gotten to know the hitters and have an idea how to attack the hitters. And in the second half, offensively, they just haven't done a real good job.
Season's long, Tony, as you know well.
162 games long.
And how to get through it is one of the things you learn in Major League Baseball if you are going to succeed at this level. And the little shift on that time to work perfectly. As Feliz makes the play, Overbay's retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Scott. Barry Bonds, strong day at the plate, but not the homer.
Not the homer everybody was looking for, but you see why he's leading the league in hitting. He doubled to right in the first and the third. He walked on 4 pitches. He took a change up and just got over Billy Hall's glove. And then in the 8th inning, took a breaking ball and just kind of blocked this ball off in the left field for a base hit. 3 for 3. Batting average up to 374. Still sitting on 699, and I'm sure people in San Francisco feel pretty good about that since he's coming home and have an opportunity to see it in the home ballpark.
That's not necessarily a bad thing obviously for the fans there. See those shadows cast with the roof open here at Miller Park. Marquise Grissom will be leading it off. Ben Ford out of the bullpen, and that pitch is taken down low for a ball. So the 4th pitcher used. Adams worked an inning, gave up 1 hit. Pitcher of record, the starter, Santos. Broken bat. Barrow goes into the dugout of the Giants. Throw to first, not in time. That'll be an infield hit. counsel. Did not get that one over there. And boy, the barrel of that bat really flew into the dugout. Scattered some folks. And that screen is there.
Ball running inside, hit right at the label. And he hit it in a perfect spot. So he's gonna beat it out and get a base hit. So that bat died a hero.
Worthy death, eh?
Yes.
Ricky Leday will get his first at bat. Leday batting in the number 9 spot now. Grissom on. He's had a homer and a single in 4 at bats. Marquise Grissom has. He's at first base. Leday takes it down low for a ball. 231, 7 homers, 30 RBIs. Ricky Leday against Ben Ford to call up in September. 1-0 delivery. Our day game and lots of it. Lots of sunshine and blue skies here in Milwaukee. And it has been a Giant dominated game. Tony Gwynn, Cal Peterson, and our crew. I'm Gary Thorne. Barry Bonds sitting on 699 started that way and stays that way. The Giants head home to take on San Diego. That's going to be a base hit into right center field. But Sednick is over. Grissom's on his way to third. He'll easily get there. And there are runners on at first and third now with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning.
This is a ball that I think he wanted a little bit more on the outer part of the plate. He left it in the middle, and Leday lines it into right center field for a base hit.
He kind of went with that one, didn't he?
And that's coming off the bench. That's what you're looking to do. You're looking to get yourself a ball that you can handle and take your best whack at it, and he did. So now with a 4-0 lead, the Giants get another opportunity.
They're going to bring the infield in. Runners on at first and third. Ray Durham, the leadoff batter. Durham's an 0 for 4. They'll try and cut that run off. That's Marquise Grissom, the lead runner at third base. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Nine hits now on the board for the Giants, trying to add to that 4-0 lead to take to the bottom of the 9th inning so that grand slam can't tie it up.
That's what Ed Yost is trying to keep intact, is that 4-run deficit.
Something off that pitch and got the outside corner. Durham on both pitches. This is the old, you got to be kidding body language.
Durham's not real happy right now.
Not turning around to look at the home plate umpire, Rick Reed. 0-2 count on Durham. Just inside, not by a lot. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Not by much at all. I mean, that last pitch, he starts this ball in off the plate, and it almost runs back.
Bennett framed it.
Yeah, Bennett did a great job of framing it, and Durham gave up on it and backed out.
1-2 delivery on the way outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Ford played at AAA Indianapolis. He was 2-2 with 9 saves. 4.85 ERA, pitched in 32 games at Indy. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery. It's away, runners will stay. They thought about going at first, decided better of it. Bennett keeping it to his left. Now a 3 ball, 2 strike count. Infield still drawn in against Ray Durham.
See if the day goes here with the infield in.
He does not. Ball not very deep. Left field, Jenkins was not even going to try. Go to the plate. Runner does go to second, and there's a bad play by Jenkins.
Yep.
He did not hit his cutoff man, and as a result, that allows Leday to tag up and easily take to second base now with 1 away. Good heads-up base running right there. Talked about the race the Giants are in. The Yankees and Red Sox, of course, in one for their division title. Arroyo Hernandez, the scheduled starters, the hunt for October. For that series that starts on Friday. ESPN will have that game at Friday 7 and Sunday. Martinez and Mussina, that'll be at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. ESPN will have that game as well. So 2 of the 3 Red Sox Yankee games on ESPN Friday night, 7, Sunday at 1. Cruz up. Infield stays in. 1 away. Eddie Cruz doubled and scored in the first inning. 1 for 3. He's batting at .295, 46 RBIs. Cruz gets a chance. A couple of RBIs if he can get a base hit right here.
Yeah, that's missing the cutoff man there on that last play is huge. Now you take the double play.
Runners coming. Got him trapped. Grissom in the rundown. Bennett. He didn't put the tag on. He's got 2 there anyway. He gets one of them. Got another runner trapped over at first base. Cruz, another runner at third looking to go home. There's only 2 down here. You got to get that final off before the runner crosses the plate. Now they're getting trapped going to the plate. Today, pitcher gets involved in it, and the tag is put on by counsel. At 6'5", 829-376-426. All right, watch closely. Tony.
Here's the play. The ground ball. They run home. The key to this play right here is Bennett running him all the way back to third base because the runner's already standing there. He's looking to see if Brady Clark, who has the ball now, the right fielder came in and made the play. That's what enabled them to go for the double play here. And now they run this thing right. He runs all the way at the runner, and now they got the second guy in a rundown. And I think just out of being tired, Ricky Leday just kind of calls it quits there. But the key to that whole rundown play is Brady Clark, the right fielder, running all the way in from right field to cover first base. And that's what he does. You see him running in from right field right there. That's the key because that enables Bennett to run this runner all the way back because he knew he had 2 runners standing in third. And now he could come to the backside and get Brady Clark involved, and that's how they turn the double play. Lots of throws. I can't tell you the numbers yet, but
great play.
Great play by Brady Clark.
I think the telephone number, if you want to find out, is 529-4916. A right fielder involved twice in a rundown in the infield.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent.
You do that play in spring training all the time. Very rarely does it happen in a game where you're in a position to make a play. And Brady Clark was. He made the play.
Jenkins up, bottom of the 9th inning. 2 strikes on him. Scott Air trying to wrap it up here for the Giants, and he did not. Did not go around. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Take a look at the reaction on the rundown.
He's saying because normally on that play, the right fielder doesn't come in and cover first base. So Davy Cruz usually could just stop and go right back to first base. There's usually nobody there. Because you get in a play like that, if you're Felipe Alou, that's the last thing you want.
Big overhand breaking ball right there. Jenkins goes down swinging, 1 away, 9th inning. There gets the strikeout. The Giants trying to win their 5th game in a row. Take this series 3 games to none. They are a half a game ahead of the Cubs, heading home to play the Padres, who are 3 games behind in the wild card race. The Giants, of course, still have a shot at the Dodgers in the division race. So this trip here to Milwaukee has been a most successful one, barring a major comeback here.
Brady Clark has the only 2 hits today, too, for the Brewers. So not only does he work in there and get in the rundown and really set up that last double play, but he's got 2 knocks today, too.
1 strike count on him. Flied out his last time up. Hennessy's chance to win his 2nd major league game. He'd be 2-2 as he went 7. No runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Victor Santos would go 10-11 with a loss here today. 4 runs, 5 hits over 4 innings. And And we weren't kidding about that call, by the way. The double play ended up being a 5-2-9, 4-9-1-6. The right fielder was involved twice on that. There it is. Call today. This bet converts to 18 different things. Chair, table. That one to deep center field. Way back at the wall. Warning track, not wall. It's caught. Kind of died out there in deep center. Marquise Grissom hauled it in. 2 down here in the 9th inning. The Texas Open is going to be coming up next. Valero is the site. And action today right here at 4 o'clock. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Valero Texas Open. Stay tuned for that. As soon as we complete our ball game here in Milwaukee, we're only 1 out away from the Giants coming away with a victory. Russell Branyan. Barry Bonds today with 2 singles, a double, and a walk. $6.99 the number. Giants will head back home, and Bonds' opportunity will come at his home field. Jake Peavy scheduled to make the start against Noah Lowry in the opener against the Giants. San Diego. 2-0 count on Branyan. Last 4 games the Giants have won have all been victories that have gone to the bullpen. The actual wins to pitchers. This one, they reported this one. Well, it's going to go to their starter, Brad Hennessy.
Yeah, and Hennessy earned it today. I mean, he did a great job of pitching, keeping his team, keeping the Brewers from getting really anything going at all today. 7 strong innings. Now Air comes in out of the bullpen. His job just to close it down, pack it up, and get back to San Francisco.
That's going to be a base hit. So Branyan keeps it alive. Day will play it back in. 2 down, 1 on, bottom of the 9th inning. As we said, the Giants won the first 2 games of this series. There are the numbers for their starters in all 3.
Brett Tomko's throwing the ball pretty well too.
Wes Helms has been announced as the pinch hitter. And Alou's on his way out. Helms, right-handed batter. Alou doesn't want the left-hander on the mound, so the Giants will make the pitching change here in the bottom. Hank Aaron, the all-time home run leader at 755. He overtook Babe Ruth to get there. And now Barry Bonds threatening both of their marks. The number is still 699. As Barry is out of the ball game. Hank Aaron, of course, here in Milwaukee, where many of his home runs were hit, including number 755. Jim Brower, the right-hander for the Giants, 2 down, bottom of the 9th inning. Branyan on at first base, and Wes Helms is the pinch hitter. Will not hold the runner, backing up. J.T. Snow at first base. And Brower's ready to go. And that pitch taken on the inside corner for a strike. Helms trying to keep it alive here in the 9th inning. Numbers for Brower. Lots of them. Outside, runner's not going to go. Jim Brower has right now tied Paul Quantrill for the lead in the majors with 79 appearances. His 82 2/3 innings is 3rd in the National League in innings pitched. So a key component out of that bullpen.
Yeah. Well, the number of hits he's given up. That's because he pitched in a lot of games. Here in this situation, he's just looking to get an out.
Helms' overall numbers, he is 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter. Runner at first base, 2 down. Brower's 1-2 delivery to him. No play. Remember all those fans who were seated out in right field? And Not there anymore.
No, they're not.
17,574 the announced attendance when Bonds was in the lineup. That was jam-packed. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Helms. It's going to be a very tough play. Felice was deep at third base. Bear hands it and gets the out. And that will do it. So the Giants sweep the Brewers as they pick up a 2-hit shutout here today. Hennessy, Hare, and Brower combining on it. Hennessy now 2-2, and Santos the loser. We will be back to Milwaukee to wrap this one up, as this one's in the books.